Okay, so what was your like first impression, like first like moments with like Jagger? Like, what do you remember most about him?
Hmm.
First memory with Jagger.
Oh, Jagger, man.
For this, I need to give a little backstory. My roommate is Katie LeBlanc.
Really spontaneous, but within that he had his own sort of method to madness.
Like, hear him talk a lot or do much. So I might say that, and then I'll just say that he's probably the best thing ever.
And I remember one time playing a game of Rom with Jagger, and we had to step out because it's a guessing game. It was just us, just sort of hanging out in the side room, and we were chatting, and then it got sort of quiet, and he got a little bit serious, not super serious, but he.
So at callbacks, he played an original song by the fake band Jagger Tits, and it was When I Was a Girl, I Dreamed of Fire, and it was unreasonably good.
And I was always worried that I'd either offend him or I'd be too crude and he'd think I was like an idiot or something, but
Isn't it hilarious how, like, physical he could be? Like, I could tell where everything was that he was imagining.
was like, so, you and Katie are a really cute couple. And just the amount of support that was backed by that statement was just so, it was just so wonderful. And I remember having to like look at him and say, Jagger, we're not dating.
I went over to him at the dining hall, as one does, and he was sitting alone, and I was like, hey Jagger, I know you. You're a lawn chair pirate, aren't you? And he's like, yeah, I am. And I was like, cool. Can I sit with you? And he was like, yeah. And then we had dinner together. And it was the bomb diggity.
What was your first impression of Aaron Verrill? Your honest first impression?
My honest first impression...
Aaron. Buddy old pal.
He was not fun, is the word I just used. He was.
well, Verrill and Jagger were like polar opposites for me.
I guess he like forgot his pants.
Friend from the beginning.
Had him pegged for a senior just because he was so comfortable on stage. And
The next morning I was in class and I just sort of like got up from my seat and went to the back of the room and took a pair of pants and like shook them out and folded them up. And I remember thinking, these pants are just so small.
He was my counselor for summer experience, so I was kind of like, hey, it's this older guy trying to be fun and hip with the kids. And
Oh, I'm Aaron. I'm going to be your CA. Here are the ground rules. But, we're going to have a really good time this week. And I leaned over to my friend and was like, wow, he's such a douchebag.
He knew everything that there was to know, I think. And I didn't know anything, so I just assumed that he was a douchebag, but really, he just was better and smarter than me.
I was worried that I wasn't going to be like on Verrill's level. I was worried that I wasn't going to be good enough for Verrill.
so I assumed the next year he was a senior, partially because I didn't listen to most of what anyone said. And then he still didn't graduate. And
I think the first memory I've had of him in LCP was when he was playing Sniper, and just how many accents he knows and can do well, and like his physicality and how far he's willing to go into like a game. It just amazed me and just left me like speechless about how he could do it and laughing my ass off.
Okay, and part 2 is what are you going to miss most about Jagger?
Oh my god.
I'm probably gonna miss...
Well, Jagger, Katie, and I got into the group together. And
he's the pirate who, more than anyone else in the group, has had me on the floor laughing. Not exaggerating, like on the floor.
We were playing a game of secret agents, and he had a belt or something on, and he just goes, donkey! And a donkey just flew out of his belt, or I don't know. And then...
how random he can be, but still makes it work.
Optimism and the brightness that he would bring not only to rehearsals, but to everything he did.
he is quiet on the outside. He is a ball of energy when you get him going.
I'm gonna miss having a person to play my stupid tabletop games with.
There's no like way to trace how he got to that like point where like this is what he's going to say now. But
we were at another game, and he was just like, I want to be a pumpkin. I want to be a pumpkin. and he is amazing and the funniest person I've ever met. So
He's just a really, really all-around good person. And I've never been in the group without him. So I'm gonna miss that unconditional friendship and support the most, I think.
He's one of the only people who I played HeroClix with and was like, yeah, I can play, like, I'll play a dozen games with this guy. I'll play 100 games with this guy. Man, HeroClix Dice Masters, and you know, he was like the best sport in the world. Like, he could lose 10,000 games in a row and he'd still be chipper as hell.
What are you worried about?
I'm worried about what I'm gonna miss most.
What are you going to miss most about Aaron Verrill?
No, I think I'm gonna miss.
Okay. I'm good. I'm gonna be good.
Verrill is a salty dog, man.
I think I'm gonna miss how confident he is on the stage, and
Just gonna miss him being around and seeing him at rehearsal, and
Oh, I'm gonna miss trolling him so much, but
He's down. If you put him in a high energy scene like Half-Life, he always brings it.
He's honest with you. He'll let you know when things you're doing aren't working, and he'll challenge you to be better.
Aaron's definitely a person that I turn to if I need some kind of guidance on just life in general, or
he's a funny guy. Like, in retrospect, he always, you know, I think he always looks back with a smile on his face, too.
just gonna miss him as a friend. I mean,
I will miss most of all Slow Turtle / Elephant the Elephant.
Can you do?
Oh, I'm Elephant the Elephant! When we catch the butterflies!
I really like Benji.
Slow Turtle, and I'm gonna open the door. And he never does it,
Yeah.
and it makes me sad because it's amazing. Maybe he'll do it tonight.